All right, boys, what is up today? So today I'm going to be bringing you a video on the battle tower. Now, not the singles this time, not the regular singles, but the masters class. This one's a little harder, and actually you go through a ranking system. So you go, I'm rank 3 currently. It's a little more difficult, I will say that. So today I wanted to bring you a list of my top 10 favorite Pokemon to use for the master class systems that I've been like trying to rank up with. But yeah, so we're gonna hop right into the video. If you guys enjoy, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know, I really like seeing your guys' ideas. Actually, for this list, I took a couple of the comments that I was getting on the video and added those into this. So yeah, if you guys enjoy, let me know, and hope you enjoy the video. For the first spot on this list, I want to talk about Blaziken. With the ability Speed Boost, he's honestly really good. I run Protect, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, and Sword Stance. There's a couple of reasons for that. Protect is going to be good against stuff that you know you can one-shot, but it's probably going to be faster than you. Flare Blitz and Close Combat are pretty much just like the highest damaging moves that you can run on it, and they hit really hard on anything. And the Life Orb on top of that is going to do even more. The EV spread is pretty simple with an adamant nature because your speed boost is already going to go through. There's no real reason to have as much speed as possible when that's being boosted passively through every turn. The reason for Sword Stance is there are some Pokemon that'll try and set up on you, so you can actually Sword Stance and then you'll also get a speed boost on top of that and then Protect, and you're pretty much going to one-shot most things that aren't just physically defensive. So yeah, that is why I feel like Blaziken is pretty top tier in terms of the master class. It hits really hard. It can sweep teams pretty easily if they don't try and like one-shot you in most cases. And honestly, this is like the set you probably could change a few of the moves around, like maybe not Sword Stance. You could probably change that for like maybe another coverage move like Earthquake or something, but I feel like the Sword Stance is good on the certain Pokemon that you can set up due to some of them in the battle tower, at least in the masters ranking, having like choice items, and sometimes they'll have to switch out if their moves aren't going to be good against you, and that's just a free turn to set up. For the next spot on this list, it is an oldie but a goodie, and that would be Gyarados. So for the same reasons I had it on my team for the last video, I have it on this list for this video. Intimidate is just such a good ability for pretty much any physical attacker you're going up against. Gyarados can set up very well with Dragon Dance. Waterfall, Stone Edge, and Earthquake are all really hard-hitting moves. Waterfall even has a chance to flinch sometimes. So for this, I have the Wakamberry because like not a lot's going to really hurt Gyarados. Not a lot one-shots him in terms of even like rock-type moves. But electric type moves are where his big weakness is at, so that's why I kind of go with the Wakamberry to reduce a hit that would kill you. But you could also run something like Leftovers, or if you want to like hit a little harder, you could definitely go a Life Orb on this guy too. Gyarados is very versatile in what it can do. Even if you want to use its hidden ability, Moxie is very good as well to keep up the sweeping once you set up maybe 1 or 2 Dragon Dance. If you can get 2 Dragon Dance off, it's usually game at that point. EV spread is pretty simple as well. 252 speed because you want to be fast, you want to be attacking hard, and the special defense is because most of the electric type moves are going to be special attack against you. But yeah, in all honesty, you cannot go wrong with Gyarados. It has a great ability, great moves, and just honestly one of the most solid Pokemon even from the generation it came out in. The next Pokemon on this list would have to be our friendly little friend, the Eon Pokemon Ladios. Ladios is one of the few legendaries that makes its way into the battle tower, which is really good. Soul Dew is probably one of the best boosting items in the game. I think it recently got a nerf from giving it a lot more special attack, but the Soul Dew is still a great item that you can give a Ladios or a Ladios. The EV spread for this one's pretty simple. 252 special attack, 252 speed, for special defense. One thing you're going to notice in the battle tower is that you don't really need a lot of bulky defensive Pokemon. You want things that hit hard and fast most of the time. So yeah, that's why we go with the timid nature. Because you already are getting the boost from the Soul Dew, you are still going to hit really hard. You could also go modest nature if you want to hit even harder, and you'll still have very good speed. Draco Meteor is one of the hardest, if not the hardest, hitting move that a dragon type can have. Ice Beam is good for coverage against grass and other dragon types in case you don't want a Draco Meteor and lower your special attack. Psychic is a good stab move. It's the best one he can learn. And Surf is good coverage. Now with this one, he has a very, very big move pool, and you could do so many different things on this Ladios. You could give it like a setup calm mindset with Roost and stuff like that. You could definitely change the set to have Thunderbolt instead of Surf or Ice Beam. This is just my kind of iteration of what I like to do. Even sometimes I like Thunderbolt over Ice Beam, just because most things that will hit Ice Beam will get hit by your Draco Meteor, especially the other dragon types. But yeah, Ladios is one of the fastest and one of the strongest Pokemon that you're able to probably use in the battle tower, and that's why he's taking this spot on the list. Alright, next on the list is our friend from Generation 1, and that is Dragonite. So we got him with the leftovers. That's probably one of the only items I would put on him, maybe like a muscle band or something to boost that physical attack. But other than that, yeah, we're going to go with the leftovers with the ability multi-scale. If you don't know what that does, it cuts any attack that hits it when it's at full health in half, making it so even the strongest of ice moves have a hard time taking you out in one hit. Which is good because we're going for a Dragon Dance setup, and after one Dragon Dance, Dragonite is surprisingly very fast. Eevee's 252 attack, 4 special defense, and 252 speed. You will surprisingly outspeed a lot of things that you wouldn't think you would with this. I go Dragon Dance or Extreme Speed, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. In some cases, you really don't need the Extreme Speed. I can see where it's good and why people like it, but I can also see where you don't need it, at least in this, in the Master Tier Tower. Maybe in competitive, like, online battles, yes, Extreme Speed can be very good, but Extreme Speed isn't going to be, like, taking out a lot in the Battle Tower. But like I said, I can see where people can run it and might want to, but I prefer to use a Roost. But yeah, honestly, Dragonite is another of those like pseudo legendaries kind of, and is pretty solid for any team. You want to just need something that's kind of bulky but can hit like hard, so he's kind of like a tank. But yeah, Dragonite is very solid. I would recommend him on most teams if you're looking for an extra slot to try and climb those ranks. And yeah, that is why he takes the slot on this list. Alright boys, so for the next Pokemon on this list, it's going to be Azumarill. We're going with the Citrus Berry on this one because it is going to be a Belly Drum set. So as soon as you hit that Belly Drum and you get your attack boost, you're going to get some of your health back, and it'd be about at a 3/4 health. And that's actually not bad for Azumarill. It's got a lot of natural bulk to it. 252 HP for our EVs, same with attack. And for in special defense ability, you're going to go Huge Power. There's nothing else you want to do on this. Huge Power gives it such an attack boost that makes it ridiculously hard hitting. You go with the Adamant nature. There's no real other nature you're going to want to go with this. It's not very fast. It will never outspeed anything, but that's what you have Aqua Jet for, which is one of the moves we're playing on this set. You go Belly Drum, Play Rough for the other stab, and then you could either go Superpower or Waterfall. If you want a hard-hitting water type move for the stab on that, you could definitely do that, but I'm going Superpower for more coverage. Like maybe I run into a T-Tar or something. Yeah, I could play Rough, but also for those pesky iron types, you could definitely go for a Superpower. And honestly, with a Belly Drum up, Azumarill is going to literally hit anything, even the bulkiest Pokemon, with just so much power that it's probably going to be taken out in 1 or 2 hits. Next on the list is Gengar. So in terms of items, you have a few choices. You could go Life Orb if you want to have the ability to switch up your moves. You could also use Gengar as a choice Specs Revenge Killer. Or you could also just go the wide glasses, which will just raise your special attack by a little bit without losing HP. The ability Chris Body, we lost Levitate, but Chris Body comes in pretty clutch sometimes. Eevee's 252 special attack, 252 defense, special defense, and then 252 speed. This guy's not going to live any attack it takes almost. Timid nature, because we want to take advantage of him being one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. Focus Blast is really good for coverage. Its accuracy is a little lackluster, but I like to have the ability to hit dark types and rock types really hard with a big hitting move. And then we have Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb. Both amazing moves, hit really hard. Sludge Bomb has 90 base damage, which hits really hard, especially on top of Stab. And then for the last move, you have a little flexibility. You could go Thunderbolt. I like that for the water types and like just things that'll pop up, even the flying types. You could go Destiny Bond. So pretty much no matter what, you're probably going to take out at least 2 Pokemon. Or 3. Just any other coverage move you might think that your team needs to have some coverage for, you could change that all up. But I feel like there's not much more that needs to be said about Gengar. It has amazing stats, hits like a truck, and is just one of the best Pokemon you could probably bring to the battle tower. Alright guys, for the next one on this list, it's going to be an oldie but a goodie. It's our friend Garchomp. This is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Cynthia pretty much showed us how strong this Pokemon could actually be. I'm going with a Life Orb on this one since it's going to be kind of the sweeper on your team that you're going to be using. Ability is Rough Skin. You're going to do 252 in attack, 252 in speed, 4 in special defense, just in case you can maybe live an Ice Beam, but you're probably not going to. You got Jolly Nature on that, and then the moves I went with is Earthquake, Outrage, Sword Stance, and the last move can be a couple of things, but I like to go Poison Jab. It's come in handy a lot for those fairy types and even grass types. Poison Jab can do a lot. Or if you need to poison something like a wall that's like set up like a bunch of defenses against you. But other than that, Garchomp can pretty much sweep teams if he gets set up like a few of these Pokemon that have been on this list. Garchomp's probably one of my favorite Pokemon, and I use it on as many teams as possible just because I love the design and just how well it can sweep. It has a great speed stat, great attack stat, and is probably one of the best Pokemon you can use in the entire game. What is up, boys? For the next spot on this list, it's going to be some from Generation 1 again, and it's our boy Stormy. The reason for this one is that it's probably one of the fastest like Pokemon you can use here. It hits really hard, and it has a really good ability in Natural Cure. So say you get like paralyzed, poisoned, or something, you just switch it out, and it no longer has that. So for this set, I go Timid Nature, 0 attack IVs, or at least as low as I can get. Psychic, Surf, Grass Knot, and Ice Beam. This Pokemon learns so many different kinds of moves. You could literally swap most of these out. Instead of Surf, you could go like me in this video and go for Scald. That one's good for burning your opponent and making sure that when they are burned, their physical attacks do like near nothing to you. Grass Knot is really good for those pesky water ground types, because if you look, that's the only move on this set that'll really hit those things. You could also switch Ice Beam out for Thunderbolt if you want to be able to hit other water types a little harder, but I feel like Grass Knot does that pretty well, especially against the heavier ones. But yeah, so I feel like Stormy is really good and maybe a little underrated, at least for the battle tower, but it's always really solid, and I really do enjoy using Stormy here. Alrighty, boys, so for the next part on this list, it's going to be the big tanky boy himself, Metagross. Now, Metagross has a lot going for him. He's one of those pseudo-legendaries. We have a lot of those on here, but they're just really good. So for this one, I go Life Orb on him as well, because you want him to hit really hard. The ability Clear Body, because Light Metal's pretty useless in most situations. We go 252 in HP, 252 in attack, 4 in special defense. I don't really see any point in investing in speed. You're not going to outspeed too much. At least for my set, you could definitely go like maybe an agility sweeper as well. I go for the Adamant nature, and then you go Earthquake, Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, and Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt, Meteor Mash are going to be your big stab moves. Earthquake's going to be for any other steel types, and it's just like one of the best moves in the game. Bullet Punch is a good priority move for outspeeding things that are faster than you, plus sometimes you'll just like need a quick revenge killer and you don't want to take any extra damage. But yeah, Metagross is really solid. He hits like a truck, and honestly, sometimes you'll get super really lucky with a Meteor Mash and get like pretty much a free Sword Stance. Like I got that a couple times just playing through and getting the footage here. But yeah, I feel like Metagross is really solid. He's tanky and pretty much just deals as much damage as most of these guys, and that's why he gets a spot on the list. All right, boys, and for the last spot on this list, this is actually kind of like a secret one. Not really secret, but this is something from way back in the day that I feel like is still really good, and not a lot of people play, or I haven't seen a lot of people play this, and that is the Cheeky Mix Ments set here. So Life Orb, because you want to be able to be swapping in and out of your moves. I go Moxie, but you can also go Intimidate. Both are really good abilities. Moxie is going to be if you want to keep sweeping, but Intimidate is good, so you can swap into those physical attackers. So for EVs, I go 64 in attack, 192 in special attack, and 252 in speed. And then you go with the naive nature to make it as quick as possible, because you do have the Life Orb and some investment in both attack and special attack. And actually, if you look at the stats, it makes it pretty good in terms of hitting both on the special and physical side. Draco Meteor and Fire Blast are going to be your special attacks. Fire Blast is really good against everything that pretty much counters you. You have ice types on there. Steel types could be pretty good if it's a physically defensive one, or if you need the 4x weakness. Draco Meteor hits like crazy. That one really hurts. Outrage is the hardest hitting dragon move that you can get that's physical, and then Earthquake is just Earthquake. It's naturally good. But I feel like the set is really good, even in competitive. Like I'm gonna be trying this set out for a few of my games, and yeah, I feel like this is kind of like a secret, like not really secret, just like something you guys don't really see very often. But this is one of my personal favorites.